Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game. So today we're our long-running series, the Unported Playlist, where I take a look at my favorite unported arcade games of all time. And today I have a personal favorite amongst those favorites. This is Senjin Aleste, released in 2021 by M2. It's part of their Shot Trigger series, and weirdly enough, it is an arcade-exclusive bullet hell shmup that takes the world of Aleste and moves it into that bullet hell genre in all of the best and most effective ways possible. And while I'm surprised that this has never seen a home port, honestly, the fact that we can play it on our PCs is good enough for me, even if I can't put it on my shelf right now. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. Now as far as this game and the title is concerned, I think this is the best shmup in recent years, but it's one of those things, shmup players absolutely have opinions, but they're pretty much friendly and we can kind of debate what are our favorites and best games of all time. So if you ask 10 people into bullet hell shmups what the best game in the last 5 years was, you're probably going to get at least 10 different answers and a lot of different second and third choices. So this is definitely just an objective opinion as far as me saying that it is my favorite and the best. You might have a completely different opinion, so tell me what your favorite bullet hell shmup down below is as far as the last couple of years are concerned. But taking Aleste and moving it into the world of a bullet hell shmup and keeping a super nice 2D aesthetic is 100% something I love. Now you will see I am going to increase the overall aspect ratio to get more game on screen because this does run in 16:9, but it is actually a 4:3 game that is basically using that tate or vertical screen orientation, so I did screen fit to fill, that way you could see more of the actual action, because trust me, this game is absolutely loaded with action intensity. There's so many bullets, so many different mechanics, and I'm sure in some way I'm not even quote-unquote playing this game right. Because when I play a bullet hell shmup, I never think about the scoring mechanics whatsoever. I just think about trying to survive as long as I can. So I'm just showing you the first entire level here. It's been about a year since I played this one. I was at least able to get midway into stage 2 without actually having to take a continue. And for me, not having played this for at least 12 months, that is something that I felt was a decent enough accomplishment. And I love just running shmup footage without any sort of cuts, so you can see just how intense the action is. Now the main hook in this game is you're going to have 4 characters, and those are basically going to be your 4 quote-unquote lives. Once all 4 characters are down, you're going to have to use a continue. Each one has different means of shooting. They have different bullet patterns, and you're going to kind of have to switch between them and utilize them to the best of your abilities if you're going to want to make it very far in this game. But even off the first boss right here, all of the different bullet patterns, all of the sprites, everything about this just absolutely looks like something that could have come out in like 1997, 1998, and would be revered as one of the best shmups of all time. The fact that M2 made this in 2021 exclusively for arcades and kept that 16 to 32-bit 2D aesthetic going strong, I absolutely love it. And you'll see here navigating through some of those patterns, not the easiest thing in the world, but this game will definitely ease you into them. But trust me, from stage 4 on, it's going to absolutely pull out all the stops. It is going to want to kill you, and you're going to have to memorize the game and get very good at it very quickly if you're ever going to actually want to see a 1cc on this one. I don't think it's impossible in any way, shape, or form, but I think it would be something. It's probably going to take you a couple months of practicing daily if you're ever going to beat this game without taking a single continue. So for me, it's one of those things, I don't spend that much time with any shmup these days to be able to get a 1cc, but that's just because I want to play other games, and obviously I'm making you guys these videos. But Senjin Aleste is just something that I absolutely want to play over and over again. Now as far as the name is concerned, there's 2 different spellings. There's Senjin with a J, and then there's Senxin, which I believe is still pronounced Senjin. If you have any idea, tell me down below. But if you want to look this game up, there are those 2 different spellings. I went with the X and the J both in the description, just so people could find it on search. But the one thing I love about this game more than anything is the bullet patterns, those sweeping geometric shapes that are coming down. You instantaneously know where you need to go to try to stay safe, but there's going to be so many on screen at once, you really have to be near perfect in your navigation. And of course it's an M2 game, so you know it's going to have a great soundtrack as well. I'm going to give you a 45-second soundtrack sample so you can get into the vibes of the game. But trust me, if you've never played this one before and you love arcade shmups, you're 100% missing out. But here comes the music. Enjoy. The music, in my opinion, is absolute perfection for the action and intensity going on screen, and I love the voiceovers as well, even if I have no idea what they are saying because they're purely in Japanese. But when M2 makes original music, they just 100% kill it, because not every single one of the M2 Shot Trigger series is going to be a quote-unquote new game. A lot of them are re-releases, but as far as this one is concerned, it's from the ground up rethinking of Aleste into the bullet hell genre, and the music definitely aids a lot in that. And it's one of those things, I just love that a game like this can exist, because we don't get a ton of shmups, especially in the bullet hell genre. Sure, there are new games out there, but as far as genres are concerned, it's one of the least developed for, probably only ahead of something like the light gun genre at this point in time if you don't include VR. But these are the type of games that honestly take about 30 minutes to beat no matter how many credits you use, but then you could spend dozens upon dozens, even hundreds of hours learning them, mastering them, getting into all of the scoring mechanics and trying to get that 1cc, because they just deliver so much value if you're into them. Now, I say this every bullet hell video, if you don't think you're good at these games, if you aren't good at these games, just keep practicing and try. You do not have to be good on paper to actually enjoy a bullet hell shmup. You just need to have the ability to want to learn and memorize patterns, because this game, I would say, is difficult, but it's not that kind of crazy cave difficult which is going to turn you off to it. Every single pattern does have an escape route, and you'll see here I'm escaping a decent amount of them, and I haven't played in over a year. Sure, I have a decent ability to play games like this because I've played a ton, but even I'm going to take a death here or there, and I am playing this on an arcade stick, which I 100% recommend. If you're going to play something on PC like a bullet hell shmup, you want that arcade stick so you really have maximum control of your character, because honestly only the very small pixels on the inside of that ship are going to be your vulnerability point. Bullets can pass through basically 98% of your sprite and you'll have no issues. And you will see here there's also an absorption mechanic that's basically going to turn itself into its own bomb, and you'll see different icons coming up on the screen, including a bomb which will go off the minute you touch it, which is a little bit unusual for a shmup, but I do think it works. But Senjin Aleste just has absolutely everything I want, including this amazing boss sprite, which is just a eyeball on top of a tank. You can't go wrong with that. It's just one of those strange things. You're not quite sure why it's in the game, but you just love to see it. And honestly, the art style on display here is some of the best sprite work I've seen in the modern era. But if you think of a game that is recent in the shmup category or any other amazing 2D sprite-based game, leave me a comment down below, because I love hearing about new games, because trust me, as for many as I talk about, there are some games out there that I've never heard of until you tell me in the comments. So definitely give me your recommendations down below. But again, there's just nothing about this game that I could honestly critique outside of the fact that it never got a home port. It is still an arcade exclusive as of today, but I know M2 has talked about bringing it home in the future, so hopefully that happens. But it's soundtrack sample number 2, because again, incredible music. 35 seconds this time, and I'll be right back with just a little bit more. I mean, honestly, I just can't say anything about that music that does not work in perfect context with the game. But you tell me down below what type of music you like in your bullet hell shmups. And as far as the theming is concerned, it's got that light futuristic sci-fi that so many bullet hell shmups use, and it uses it so effectively. And I love all of the different enemy sprites, including these eggs here that just explode and send out a bunch of missiles, almost looking like some sort of bug cluster. This is just giving me cave vibes through and through, but obviously made by M2, and it is just an absolute 10 out of 10 spectacular game, and one of the best shmups I've played in a really long time. From the mechanics to the sprites to the music to the presentation to the difficulty to the bullet patterns and everything else, this game just has everything I crave, and it makes me love the genre that much more, because I've been playing bullet hells probably since like the late 90s when emulation hit. Honestly, I didn't really know about them in the mid 90s, played a lot of shmups, but I've been playing these type of games for the last like 25 years or so, and I love getting quote unquote new games, even if this one is from 2021, and hopefully one day we do see that home port from M2, because it's the type of game I just just want to be able to put on my shelf and purchase and support M2's continued efforts of keeping the arcade dream alive, whether it's in arcades or on home consoles. But I make unported playlists very far ahead of time sometimes, so it might be 6 or 8 months between recording this till the time you see it. So hopefully if that's the case, I'm going to look stupid and M2 has announced a home port, because that would just make me very happy. But if you've never played Senjin Aleste before, I can't recommend it enough. It works on Teknoparrot and it's 100% worth your time. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.